And here we go, live from Toyota Sports Performance Center in El Segundo, California. This is Vegas Golden Knights hockey and the Rookie Face-Off Tournament presented by Martin Harris Construction. This afternoon, the final game of this weekend for the Golden Knights as they take on the Utah Hockey Club. Hello, friends. Great to have you with us. Alongside Darren Millard, I'm Brian McCormick. Darren, the Golden Knights, 5-3 winners in yesterday's contest against the Seattle Kraken. They're looking for a perfect weekend.
There's no trophy, there's no banner that will be raised, but they're playing for the first championship of the season, trying to run the table of this rookie face-off, coming off the wins over the Los Angeles Kings and Seattle Kraken. And our first look at the Utah Hockey Club and their new sweaters as they transition over from Arizona.
And some prospects that you might remember from this tournament in years past. Tucson Roadrunner regulars. And Jacob Rabinowitz with goals in back-to-back games takes the opening face-off, wins it back, and we're underway. Golden Knights in their white jerseys, dark and gold trim. White helmets going from left to right in the first period. And Utah in their navy blues, powder blue and white trim. Diagonal Utah across the chest. They go from right to left. Puck came out to the right point. First-round pick Maverick Lamoureux swung it back behind the Vegas net. This past summer's first-round pick, Cole Baudouin, cycled into the left wing corner. Baudouin, one of two first-rounders for Utah this past summer. Baudouin taken 24th overall, and Teja Ginla, who is taken in the top 10 and is not active this weekend. Puck bounced out to the Utah line. Lamoureux fell down, but able to push it out to center, where it's brought ahead by Nord. Nord stripped in the neutral zone by Sapovalev. Sapovalev gets some help from Bowman. Bowman with goals in back-to-back games as well. Sapovalev's left wing shot went off the glove of Anson Thornton, punched away. Anson Thornton in the net to our right. Jesper Vikman between the pipes for Vegas. Puck dumped in to the Vegas zone by Allard. We played a minute 20 of a scoreless first period. Cataford on the left wing pushed it down into Utah ice. Golden Knights will change. Line changes presented by William Hill.
Mentioned the championship, being able to run the table and go to 3-0. There's a bit of tongue-in-cheek in that statement, but there is an emphasis on winning these hockey games.
Shot over the line by Joe Fleming into the midsection of Thornton. He'll hang on for the whistle. Take a look at our Scratch Report brought to you by UMC, the exclusive hospital of the Vegas Golden Knights. Kai Uchaz back into the lineup for the Golden Knights today after being off yesterday afternoon. Mazden Leslie is in on the defensive side, his first appearance of the weekend. Christopher Setoff gets a day off. Jacob Matthew and Michael Uchette come out of the lineup. Jakob Demek, Jordan Gustafson remain out, as does Trent Swick. Down from the right point, Joe Fleming takes a hit as he forces it into the corner. Good help on the forecheck. Uchaz got in front, and Simone Pinard put off. Looked like the outside of the post. Utah can clear.
Uchaz just went and found that puck and won the battle.
Fleming waiting behind his net. Both teams getting changes. Mentioned the Golden Knights have won both of their games so far this weekend. A 2-0 win in the opener against the LA Kings and a 5-3 win yesterday over Seattle.
Have not trailed so far in the two games.
Utah Hockey Club 1-1 after an overtime win over LA. Owen Allard had the OT winner. Väisänen will dump it in deep for Utah. Maillet moved up the far wall. Lamoureux from the right point of drive. That hit his own man in front, Jacob Newcomb. Lamoureux has it again. Dropped it off for Drew Elliott. Swings it below the goal line. Newcomb dished it to the near side. Down from the point was Kipke, but he lost the puck, and now working ahead out to center is Samuel Maillet. Gains the red line and dumps it in.
Talking to a few of the Golden Knights hockey operations staff, been very pleased with how things have gone over the first two games. Bit of a blip yesterday, which allowed Seattle to get back in the game, but they felt that was a somewhat self-inflicted on the Golden Knights part of it, and they recovered quickly and were able to put that game away.
Sloan Stanek flips it out to center. That went off the skate of Hemmerling and deflected all the way down the ice on goal. Anson Thornton alertly played it to the wall, but the Golden Knights have it back. Leslie from the right point sent it cross ice off the skate of Hemmerling. Got it back, fed in front. Stanek couldn't tee it up. Puck in the far corner of the Utah zone. Hemmerling, good forecheck pressure again. Tried to find Brabenitz in front. It went through his stick and through Chayka's as well. Golden Knights will regroup at center. Sloan Stanek backhands in deep. Stanek again on the top line with Brabenitz and Hemmerling as he was yesterday and showed very well yesterday against Seattle. Sapovaliv gloves the puck down in the neutral zone. Being whacked at by Allard. Gets some help from Matthew Cataford. Now Sapovaliv will backhand it in deep. Thornton stops it behind his own net. Rims it up the far wall himself. Good keep at the blue line by Artur Cholach. Now Sapovaliv left wing corner. Driving wide. Tried to center in front. Looking for Bowman. Bouncing puck in the goal mouth. Poked away by Thornton. Left point Cholach let it go. He fired wide. Now right point Fleming holds in. He took a bump from Lutz. Cholach from the blue line. A backhander blocked in front by Seatman, and the Utah Hockey Club able to clear. Bowman will backtrack in his own zone. 5 minutes gone, first period, no score in El Segundo.
We joked the last couple of days of being so close to the action.
Here's Yoronen with a shot that was blocked. Going down to a knee in front of Yoronen was Väisänen.
We've improved that today. We're on the other rink here at the Toyota Sports Complex, and we're about 12 feet from the boards.
We're so close. As a wrist shot goes into the glove of Thornton, he'll hang on for the whistle. We're so close that I think Joe Fleming took a hit right in front of us here down on the glass, and a piece of the stanchion popped off, and it's lying on the ground right in front of us. So you can't get too much closer doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and I've got a problem with our rotator cuff now after that.
Well, I'll hold you up.
No, we're about 4 feet off the ice on a little bit of a riser, 12 feet from the boards. You will not call a game closer to a rink unless you're on the boards, unless you're standing right beside the boards.
Which means no mistakes will be permitted.
Nope.
Off the face-off, Pinard's shot was blocked.
I'll take this over the other game.
Uchaz working in the corner. Yoronen comes in to help. Now Uchaz has it again. Gave it in front for Pinard. He couldn't settle it down. It rolled off his stick and wide. Kometz down from the left point will shovel it in deep again. You mentioned yesterday's game against Seattle, Darren. The Golden Knights had a 4-0 lead. Seattle made it interesting. Kometz down from the left point. Fanned on the shot, still in his skates. Puck still up for grabs between the circles, and now it's found and worked out harm's way by Will Gavin. He'll dump it down to the Vegas zone. It's has been the case for these two games we've seen thus far, Darren. The Golden Knights have gotten off to good starts pretty consistently. They've had their legs in first periods.
2-0 lead, thanks to the power play in game number 1 against the LA Kings, and then yesterday when they got rolling, they were good.
Good work in the corner from Jet Jones. Now trying to drive towards the front. He was stomped at the side of the net. Wraparound try by Smith, and getting over for that one was Anson Thornton again.
Doubled Seattle in shots yesterday.
More good forecheck work from Jones. Forces Seatman back behind his own net. He threw it up the far wall, but not out. Leslie, high slot for Smith. Leslie got it back, carries in deep, tried to center for Hughes. Pass was broken up. Hughes has it again, bomb in the left circle. Threw it in front, it was blocked. Out to the point, Leslie gloves it down. Good pressure here for Vegas. 7 minutes gone, still no score. Seatman for Utah on the right wing side, challenged by Hughes. Hughes took the puck away. Jones will flutter one on goal, and Thornton will glove it and stop play to slow things down for Utah.
First look at Mazden Leslie, who's here on a tryout with the Vegas Golden Knights. He's the final player to get into the lineup this weekend, and he's paired with Daniil Chayka this afternoon. Acquitted himself in the first 3 shifts very well.
Mazden Leslie, 44 points from the blue line last season for the Vancouver Giants. Face-off win for the Golden Knights. Fleming from the right point fired it wide. It carried him to the side of the net, and Thornton will cover it up and get another stoppage.
Fleming's had an eventful weekend. A scrap and a big hit in the opening night. Yesterday, made a couple of nice defensive plays, but was also part of the bit of speed wobble that they had during the course of the game. Continues to develop his overall skills, though, which has been fun to watch over the last 3 years.
Lipkin out of his own zone will float it down into Vegas ice. Cholach trying to escape forecheck pressure from Nord, rims it around the near side. Hemmerling can get out to center. He has Brabenitz in stride. Following up on the rush was Cholach, had his stick lifted from behind. That was good back check work from Baudouin. And Väisänen with a stretch pass that's off the stick of Hemmerling in neutral ice and deflects up over the Vegas bench, giving Jamie Heward and Georgie Lopez a bit of a scare, but everyone's all right. Face-off coming in the neutral zone.
Players will have an off day tomorrow. Some will, I'm sure, be reassigned to junior. Others will stick back for the start of main camp, which gets underway on Thursday at City National Arena. And the Vegas Golden Knights big club with Bruce Cassidy and company play their first exhibition game, their first preseason game on Sunday in San Jose. So it'll happen pretty quick this week.
We always think of rookie tournament as a chance to wade into the waters of hockey season. In fact, it's more of a white water rapid rush to start the season.
Action at main camp will take place at City National Arena. 3 groups throughout the day. Long time in skates for the coaching staff, but that will take place Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
8:20 gone in a scoreless first period. Utah pressuring. Good defensive help from Braden Bowman. Kipke from the left point got a shot off. That was shrugged away from Jesper Vikman, who hasn't had a whole lot of activity so far in this one. Good play by the rookie Bowman between the circles. As a rookie, and that's his first rookie face-off tournament with us. It's a rookie tournament. Obviously, everyone's a rookie here. Cataford will gain the red line. He'll dump it in deep.
But there are players who have been through this multiple times, and that's an area where Vegas has excelled this weekend. The players that have gone through the process have been their best players.
Brinkovic had a backhander on goal, kicked away by Vikman. Puck cleared down into the Utah zone. Uchaz working below the goal line. Euronen as well. Tuomas Euronen, we think, might have scored a goal that was credited to Braden Bowman. That's how it stayed on the score sheet. Euronen, a centering pass. We weren't sure if it went in off of Bowman or off the defenseman's stick. Here's a turnover as Repchik working his way in. Good play by Chayka to knock him off the puck. And Bowman will send it back out to center. The reason I mention that, though, is Euronen doesn't get a point in that scenario, but he was very, very noticeable in all facets yesterday afternoon.
Healthy. Missed a lot of last year, but he's back. Played in Ottawa last season in the Ontario Hockey League. Will suit up for Kingston this year. He's already hit the ground running, scoring 5 goals in 5 games for Finland at the Five Nations Cup this summer, and has carried that over to rookie faceoff.
Cholach deep in his own zone, trying to get away from Jacob Newcomb. Jacob Newcomb, one of the real bright stories on this Utah squad. He's with them as an invitee, but spent last year with Cape Breton as a glove save by Vikman. He's going to hold on for the whistle. Newcomb last summer was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and missed the first half of the season, but came back in January cancer-free and had a strong season, and good to see him having an opportunity with Utah at this face-off tournament. We'll step aside, 9:45 to go, first period, no score in El Segundo. Brian McCormick and Darren Millard here with you. You're watching the Rookie Face-Off or listening to it, presented by Martin Harris Construction. Knights fans, VGK will kick off the 2024-25 season with FanFest presented by Toyota at the Lawn at downtown Summerlin on Sunday, October 6th. Join the whole team, GM Kelly McCrimmon, head coach Bruce Cassidy, and the VGK cast at the Lawn from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's free to attend and promises fun for the whole family. Sunday, October 6th for VGK FanFest.
Got to know a few of the prospects for the Vegas Golden Knights over the last couple of days. New arrivals in the organization. Some players knocking on the door, trying to earn contracts. And then you've got the Sept.15 and the Bandits, who we're more familiar with. Next week, it turns into a whole different level of the Mark Stones and the Jack Eichels being back. But first training camp in Vegas for Tomas Hertl this week. And then we've got Alexander Holtz arriving on the scene, looking for an impact. Victor Olofsson coming over with a new contract. So we're going to have some storylines that are going to keep us busy.
Maverick Lamoureux from the point hammered one that might have caught a piece of Vikman's glove on its way wide. Puck rimmed around near side. Hemmerling lets it go out to center. 2-on-1 for the Golden Knights. Stanek tried to get it across for Brabenich. The pass was blocked away. Good work defensively. Sam Lipkin came back to apply pressure as well. Hemmerling behind the Utah net. Boxed out by Lamoureux, who takes the puck away, and Maverick Lamoureux will bounce it off the boards just out to center. Brabenich tried to hack it back in. Knocked down and carried ahead by Väisänen. Left side, Baudouin. He'll rim it around the boards. Well, you mentioned, again, it's Tomas Hertl's first VGK training camp. It'll be Noah Hannafin's as well. And Bruce Cassidy, when we spoke to him yesterday, just talked about the significance of those players. They were spring additions, but in many ways, they kind of serve the purpose of a big offseason move. There's a shot from the high slot that deflects in. Golden Knights have a 1-0 lead. As from the high slot, William Kometz let it go. I think it went off of a Utah stick before skipping past Thornton. Golden Knights on the board. It's Kometz involved again.
You don't have to ask him twice to get the puck to the net, whether it's rushing the puck or taking a shot. He's got some offensive ability, a player that topped 20 goals last year in the Western Hockey League, and that was just getting a puck to the net. Gets a favorable bounce, and the Golden Knights, for the third straight game, are able to open the scoring.
William Kometz with goals in back-to-back games, and the Golden Knights a 1-0 lead, 8:45 left in period one.
Kometz 6'2", 214. Here on a tryout, looking to earn a contract, and he has taken strides every game from the start against Los Angeles to this afternoon versus Utah.
Here's Pinard over the Utah line, looking for more. Dropped it back. Kometz for Pinard. A shot and a save made. Getting across was Thornton. That was a little on edge for Pinard. Didn't get everything behind it.
Well, it was the pass by Kometz. Little backhand sauce in traffic.
And good back check work by Kometz, coming all the way back to get a stick on Kipke and break up the Utah rush. Simone Pinard with a hit to bump the puck out to Sarah. Now Yoronen will drop it back to Kometz, and the Golden Knights regroup. Maillet dumping it in before taking a hard hit from Artem Duda.
There are some defensemen who you'll watch during a game, and they will not see below the face-off dot of the opposition's end. Kometz, very comfortable down there, jumping into the play.
Seatman tried a stretch pass that went through Leslie and all the way down. They say no icing. Vikman will come out and move it himself. He's got Bear Hughes on the left wing, whipped out to center, off Jet Jones. It leaks into Utah ice, and escaping from pressure Väisänen, but staying on Väisänen is Jones to force him deep.
There's something that's really become a trend in the first start of this rookie camp and continued today has been the forecheck of the Golden Knights. It's been strong.
Over the blue line, big hit! Coming flying across was Sloan Stanek to put a stiff shoulder into Lipkin, and now Stanek is challenged by Lamoureux, and quickly losing his balance. Stanek had Lamoureux hovering over him. The linesman jumped in quickly.
That was a clean hit. No penalty anywhere near that hit by Stanek, and he's challenged immediately. Now, the first game of this tournament for Vegas, same situation happened. Maillet threw a hit, and he was challenged to a fight, dropped the gloves, and Los Angeles was assessed an instigator penalty. I would anticipate the same thing happening here with Lamoureux.
And it was Sam Lipkin who was on the receiving end. Again, pucking his skates along the blue line, and Sloan Stanek went right through him. As the officials discuss, this afternoon's referees, Tatu Kunto and Tyler Murphy. The linesmen, Max Oppenheim and Gentry Zolars.
First impressions, watching that, I would expect Vegas to come out of it with a power play. We'll see how the officials determine it, but under the guise of the ruling, that is a very obvious instigator.
And still being sorted out. 6:45 remaining in the first period. The Vegas goal has been credited to Matthew Cataford. His first of the weekend from William Kometz and Braden Bowman. So we'll see if that changes. Again, if we're going to honor the handshake line after they'd all discussed, it looked like Kometz was the one that they all agreed would get credit. But right now it's Cataford on paper.
No penalty. So it's the first time I've been wrong on an official.
And there's a shot from the point. Hemmerling deflects and scores. Joe Fleming, a fadeaway wrister, and Ben Hemmerling coming across the front, bats it out of the air to give the Golden Knights a 2-0 lead.
Didn't get the power play, but they get the goal right after, so it works out. And Ben Hemmerling, who scored 30 goals last year in the Western Hockey League, a 2022 signing, and he just makes things happen. What I love about him is he's involved in every facet of the game. Skill, you want to do that? You want to grind it out a little bit? He can do that. And then the hands on that tip, on a little sifter coming from Joe Fleming, and the Golden Knights have a third straight 2-0 lead.
A great tip by Hemmerling because he had Justin Kipke draped all over him, able to just get enough of it. And 2 tallies in close proximity for Vegas. 6:10 left in period 1 as Joe Fleming stepped up and put a solid hit on Lipkin. Puck stays in the Utah zone. At the left point, Cholach couldn't hold it in. Fleming will chase back into his own end.
So not 2 great hard shots. The Kemek one was just from the top of the circle, directing it towards the net. Fleming with a sifter, but they hit something on the way in, deflected by Utah on the opener, and that one by Ben Hemmerling, and just a good example of getting the puck to the net.
And for the Golden Knights, who have generated decent offense from the blue line during this weekend, a lot of that has just been as simple as just getting pucks through. Here's Sapovaliv charging in, being tangled up from behind. Krinkovic was draped all over him. That allows Lavoie to take the puck away for Utah, and a stretch past the center has Gavin. Gavin tangled up with Kometz, stumbled and went down. No penalty coming as Kometz handles behind his own net. Now he'll work out to center. Challenged by Will Gavin at the red line. Will Gavin, alumnus of the Air Force Academy. Puck dumped into the Utah zone. Rimmed around to the right wing side where Repchik can give a head for Krinkovic over the Vegas line. Now Repchik to the high slot. Wrist shot Gavin. Save made with the glove by Vikman. And he hangs on for the whistle.
Vikman back in goal for the Vegas Golden Knights after taking yesterday off and watching Carl Lindbaum record the victory. Vikman played the front half of the 2-0 victory against the Los Angeles Kings to start this tournament and stopped all 11 shots he faced. 6'4", much different style than you would see from Lindbaum, who's 6 feet. Not exactly a prototypical blocker, though. Very athletic in Vikman, starting his second professional season.
4:45 to go first period. Golden Knights have a 2-0 lead. Ben Hemmerling got his second of the weekend from Joe Fleming and Artur Cholach. Maillet will gain the red line, fires it in deep. Puck rims around to the near half wall, but past Jet Jones. And William Kometz regroups back at his own blue line with Leslie trying to go back for Kometz. Pass out of his reach. He'll have to chase it into the corner. Forecheck pressure from Newcomb. Golden Knights able to escape as it's fluttered down into Utah ice, and Smith will work below the goal line. Jones battling in the trapezoid, was shouldered off the puck by Duda. Smith takes over the battle on the far wall. Puck came to the middle of the ice. Hemmerling with good forecheck pressure, but Duda can escape as the Golden Knights change. And Duda's stretch pass goes all the way down the ice. Caught up to by James Hardy, whose shot fluttered harmlessly wide. Vegas in transition at the Utah line. Baudouin gloved the puck down, but then gave it away to Leslie. It's brought in on the left wing side by Brabinets. He'll hack it deep. Ben Hemmerling into the right wing corner, tried to feed the blue line. It went between Chayka and Fleming and all the way back. 3:20 left in the first as Chayka handles behind his own cage. Forecheck pressure from Lipkin. Good escape from Chayka, but then he lost it along the far wall as Baudouin knocked it down. From the left side, Lavoie tried to get it through. It was blocked. Brabinets can clear. Lavoie has it again at the red line. He'll hammer it all the way down. Golden Knights break out on the right wing side as Joe Fleming gets to the red line and fires it deep. Duda takes a hit from Cataford. Good forecheck pressure. Puck came cross ice and out to center, and chasing it back to his own blue line, Fleming. Under pressure from Allard, he spins away, lost the puck. Trying to drive to the front was Lutz, but it was knocked away. Good defensive work in front. Cholach and Sapovalev. Sapovalev working below the goal line in his own end. Cholach trying to help in the far corner.
Fleming saved himself a little bit there. Bailed himself out of that miscue with a solid defensive play.
And Fleming trying to line up in the left wing corner, but a hit on Gabe Smith. Joe Fleming throws big hits, Darren, and he seems like he does it in bunches. He'll have a shift where he'll have 2 or 3. Krinkovic on the attack for Utah, but Lutz was offside, and whistle sounds with a minute 54 to play in period 1.
Vegas carried the play yesterday in large stretches against Seattle and have done the same thing early this afternoon. 9-4 the shots against Utah Hockey Club.
So many of their opportunities and their offensive success have been off of face-off wins and sustained ozone pressure, and we've seen that capitalized twice in this period.
They've been great in the dot all weekend.
Here's Yoronen on the attack for Vegas. Right wing, wrister fought off by Thornton. Rebound came into the blue paint, and Thornton's able to cover it up.
Thomas Yoronen out. Kai Uchez getting another look today. 21-year-old, product of the Western Hockey League. 42 goals a year ago. Had a couple of big years in Major Junior Hockey to wrap up his career. Captain in Red Deer. And he's a player that we've really enjoyed watching, and there's been a little bit of chemistry. Kai Uchez getting ready to turn pro. Thomas Yoronen healthy. Simon Pinard's been very good.
I heard the boards rattling in the background. That was Maverick Lamoureux and Sloan Stanek returning from their fighting majors. So both boxes are empty. Uchaz tried to drop it back for Kometz. Did not connect. Kometz will have to go back behind his own net to get it. Well, yesterday we were lucky enough to get visits from Bruce Cassidy and from assistant general manager Vaughn Karpen. Stay with us for the first intermission when we expect to have Bob Lowe's join us in the booth.
Go back a long way with Bob Lowe's. He is just a hockey guy.
Credit 1 minute remaining in the first period. And a puck goes over the glass, over the mesh, and lands 10 feet to my right, my left. Well, you don't know. You can't see me.
It's like doing baseball. Foul ball up. You don't get that very often in hockey.
Yeah.
Where you're going to be able to reach over for a souvenir that goes out of play.
And that one's tipped right into our booth.
Such is the case with this multi-rink complex in El Segundo, the practice facility for the Los Angeles Kings and their American Hockey League affiliate, the Ontario Reign.
And Ryan from the streaming team just gave me the puck. So souvenir from Rookie Faceoff. We'll fight over it later.
Do you collect any of that kind of thing?
Pucks?
Yeah.
Look, not actively, I suppose. When I stumble upon cool ones, I keep them.
What do you do now?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have a collection, then you get right of first refusal. Here's Bear Hughes with a wrist shot, scores! Bear Hughes on the left wing side off the rush, a rip upstairs to make it 3-0 Golden Knights in the final minute of the period.
This is one of the more interesting players at this rookie faceoff. Bear Hughes is a player that his family didn't have any background in hockey. He's one of 10 kids from Idaho, but he became the first player from Idaho ever drafted in the National Hockey League when he was selected by Washington. Had a great year in the ECHL a couple of seasons ago, but then ran into injury trouble last year and hardly played. He's catching up right now to the speed of the game after missing basically a year, and that's going to do a ton for his confidence.
Played 5 games in Savannah last year and then basically a period and a half with Henderson before an upper body injury ended his season. So good to see him make a mark. Again, was not in the lineup yesterday afternoon, but adds to the scoring today. Hemmerling in the dying seconds. A shot was blocked, and the Utah Hockey Club will work it to Saren. Newcomb dumps it in. 2 seconds and 1. Period's over. Oh,
well,
solid first
can't complain
period.
about starts for the Vegas Golden Knights. 2-0 against LA. They were able to hold on for the perfect defensive performance. Yesterday, they were up 4-0, and today walk into the first intermission with a 3-0 advantage.
Deflections for Cataford and Hemmerling, and Hughes adding one late. 3-0 Vegas heading to the break. Golden Knights fans, tickets are available now for all 4 Vegas Golden Knights preseason games at T-Mobile Arena beginning on Wednesday, September 25th. All fans in attendance at each preseason game will receive a limited edition collectible player pin featuring Noah Hannafin, Aiden Hill, William Karlsson, or Tomas Hertl. Get your tickets now. Don't miss out on these unique collectibles. We will hop out. When we come back, we will be joined by Bob Lowe's, the Assistant Director of Player Personnel for the VGK, who has had a lot to do with, well, pretty much every player that is in this tournament this weekend and the scouting staff that he works with. We'll get the details when we return. 3-0 Golden Knights have the lead. Brian McCormick and Darren Millard here with you. You're listening to the Rookie Face-Off presented by Martin Harris Construction. Catch some of the players in today's game in person, October 4th and 5th at Lee's Family Forum when the Henderson Silver Knights face the Tucson Roadrunners in AHL preseason action. Tickets available now. Get your first glimpse of the 24-25 Silver Knights. Visit hendersonsilverknights.com. 20 minutes in the books in El Segundo, and the Golden Knights having a good time. They have a 3-0 lead over the Utah Hockey Club, and we're joined by Assistant Director of Player Personnel, Bob Lowe's. Bob, thanks so much for hopping in with Darren and I. And first off, I mean, you got to be really happy with what you've seen from this group this weekend, and especially the first periods have been phenomenal.
Yeah, we've come to play. I think the coaches have done a great job of preparing the guys, and the players have been ready to play. And I think we're playing to our strengths to start the game, and it's getting us off to some good good start, and then you can just continue to build momentum from there.
What are those strengths? What are they that you talk about?
For me, I think we're pretty big. We're pretty strong on the puck. You see, we're not maybe all fancy and, throwing the puck around. I think we keep it pretty simple. Get the puck going north, get it in their end, get a good forecheck going. We get the puck to the points, get to the front of the net. We saw that on 2 of the goals.
All 3 goals getting the puck.
Yeah,
to the net, right?
we're going to the net real well, I think, and we're hard to move because we got some big guys and strong guys, like strong players, and then a puck possession game, and then defensively we're working really, really hard. All the opportunities I think that we're giving up for the other team are more self-inflicted with maybe some turnovers and that. And when we get away from managing the puck a little bit, it'll feeds into the other team's transition, but we seem to be able to right the ship and get it back on track and then get back to our game again.
As somebody that has such an impact on the amateur side, is this your favorite weekend of the year?
Yeah, it's a real, for us, it's, you can see we bring in all our scouts because we think it's important to see our players that we've scouted and all, for the last few years and come together. And it gives us a real start to the season for ourselves. We kind of, for ourselves, we get to see the players, other teams, picks and teams. And it's a real good start, like you said, to the year. It gets us going in the right frame of mind, and it's a lot more enjoyable when you win.
It's got to be important too for the scouting staff. They're spread all over the globe during the year, that they all be in the same room at certain points during the season, that you're all on the same page.
Yeah, it is, and we and to see players, like some guys are just regional guys, so they don't see maybe your own, and like our US guys didn't really maybe see your own in Europe, and the regional guys get a look at the players that we're bringing in, and it's a culmination of the hard work that they've done all year, and where guys are progressing. Some of the guys like Burbanich, who we haven't seen, for a few guys haven't seen maybe since last year, is just see the progress that he's made 1 year playing in the American League. So it's really good.
Talked about that the banner's not available. There's no trophy presentation after, but you have an opportunity to go 3-0, and that's not lost on the organization, being able to have team success along with the individual side.
Yeah, we're trying. We like. I think we've done our fair share of winning in Vegas since we started. I think we'd still like to do that. I think we're a work in progress for Henderson. I think we're starting to make some strides towards that, and it's starting to show here too, and hopefully moving forward too.
Some players, some individual performances this weekend. Sapovalov goes to all 3 games. We're seeing some real growth as he turns professional.
Yeah, Sapo's game's a real, you have to appreciate the 200-foot game to really appreciate his game.
William Karlsson keeps coming up.
Yeah, and he's hard to play against. It's funny, when they played London in the Memorial Cup and played him in the playoffs, London were tired of seeing this guy because he has the ability to shut other guys down. If you go back to 2 World Juniors when he was 18 ago, he played head-to-head that first game when they played Canada, when it was in Halifax.
Yeah.
He played head-to-head against Wright's line and shut him down. He's a big part of that and their success. Like, his 200-foot game is phenomenal. He's got that length, but he's always in good position. He's always cutting off the ice. He's never, if you see him, he's always usually above the puck. And he's just, if I was a winger or whatever, if I'm a defenseman on the ice, you know where he is. He's always supporting the play in the middle. you win with guys like that. So.
And Bob, that's for Sapovalov, and Will Nickel talks about his defensive prowess all the time in juniors. But usually when you have a high-drafted player, a great skill set, you have to teach them defense, or you have to talk it into them. He comes with it naturally preloaded.
With anything, we've got to maybe push him on the other side a little bit, right? Like to get him to maybe shoot the puck a little bit more, to drive some lanes, to take the odd chance and be confident to do that. But he was, from day one when he got the Saginaw, he had such a mature game. And, he played 21, 22 minutes a night for 3 years, played in 3 World Juniors, plays in the Memorial Cup wins. He's just kept playing and playing and playing. I'm really excited for the next, step for him to take and come play in Henderson. I think he'll be a fun guy to watch and watch his development.
We're with Bob Lowe's. Bob, tell us a little bit about your thoughts on Tuomas Joronen, who missed so much of last season, was injured in November, and this weekend is playing with no hesitation, no limitations. He's been involved in everything.
Well, it's funny. He got to come to development camp and then play in this last year, but it's tough when it's your first time, especially coming from Europe. And then he had the injury, and the injury was pretty tough injury, and he's overcome it. And I think he's playing tremendous, actually. He's playing really, really hard. We've been really pleasantly surprised with the speed through the neutral zone. He's on pucks. He's playing physical. He's not the tallest guy, but he's sturdy and he's strong. So he's strong on the puck. He's strong on the man. And his physical play. So we're really excited. He got traded to Kingston, which I think will be a really good spot for him. And we're excited because we really didn't know what to expect, eh? And that's a feel-good story. Hopefully it keeps going.
Well, he was drafted in Nashville,
yeah,
and then came to Vegas for the development camp.
Yeah.
He's not the first person to have trouble with that double dip, going from those two cities. On the back end, you got William Komet. I mean, he does not have to be told twice to jump into the play coming out of Prince George. He can put the puck in the net. And Samuel Maillet, bigger body than I was expected. Just looking at the stats, he's a thicker guy, also with some offensive ability.
Yeah, both those guys had very good years in their junior teams, and we identified that as older players. And they're physical; they can absorb contact. The game for defense is to go retrieve pucks and under pressure, and be able to absorb contact or get back to it.
That hasn't changed, right?
No, and get back to it quick enough and be able to move it to an area where you don't turn it over. And both those guys do a very good job of that. And if you give them a little bit of time, they can find the middle option or get it going. And then they both have some offensive ability too, so they can defend and offense. So they've both played really, really good. When we had a glimpse of them playing together yesterday when they got down. They played a couple shifts together. We really liked it, and they talked about putting them together today to get the Leslie kid in the lineup and then take Seedoff out. So it's exciting.
And Sedoff he looks like a man here.
Yeah, he's had a very good, American League as well too. Very good career through Red Deer, and just getting better all the time, and it's been good.
Well, Bob, we always learn so much when we get a chance to visit with you. We really appreciate you taking the time, and enjoy the rest of this weekend with your staff, and good luck as we head into the real thing next week.
Yeah, it's a good way to start off. Hopefully we can finish this one off and keep playing.
His ears usually bleed when I'm around him because I'm poking and prodding, trying to get everything I can get out of him. Thanks, Bob.
Don't worry, Bob. I'll keep him here.
Good luck from this vantage point.
Thank you, Bob. That's Bob Lowe's, Assistant Director of Player Personnel for the Golden Knights. We'll step out when we come back. Second period action. Golden Knights have a 3-0 lead. You're listening to the Rookie Face-Off presented by Martin Harris Construction. Back at Toyota Sports Performance Center in El Segundo, second period underway as Baudouin wins it back from Brabenitz. And a good hit by Stanek forces a turnover. Brabenitz on the attack left wing, threw it across. Down for the right point, Kometz overskated. And Baudouin forces it to the corner. Golden Knights have a 3-0 lead over Utah Hockey Club. And we'll give you some of the numbers in a moment as Maillet will dump it back down into Utah territory. It's great having Bob Lowe's join us between periods, Darren. And interesting that he said, you know, you've been so intrigued by Kometz and Maillet as young players trying to make an impression at this weekend, and so much so they agreed that as a backhander at the side of the net, Utah's on the board. That's Baudouin going up onto the board, up onto the bar, and it's now 3-1 Vegas.
Wasn't a clean exit from the corner. Puck got spit back, rejected, and Baudouin grabbed it and just went short side. One of those plays where we're very familiar with how goaltenders tackle that challenge, going down in what's called the reverse VH.
Yeah.
And that was one where there's a little bit of room. Players' first look now is to go to the short side up top.
Cole Baudouin with the goal. The 24th overall pick in this past summer's draft from the Barrie Colts. So one of the exciting talents for the future of the Utah Hockey Club, gets them on the scoreboard.
Should just finish the thought on Bob Lowe's.
The thought was, well, Bob just talking about, you know, you've been so intrigued by Maillet and Kometz, and they agree because he was excited to see have a chance to play together.
Well, Bob and I have been on the same page a couple of times, which you would expect considering I first crossed paths with him in the early 90s, and we've been buddies ever since. Back in the Brandon Wheat King days when I was a broadcaster there, and he was the head coach. Kelly McCrimmon, the general manager.
That's the good thing about we get to do these games together, Darren. We talk hockey for 3 hours, and then afterwards you get to have, I think you and Bob were talking after the game yesterday for a good 45 minutes before I interrupted.
That was the longest hockey talk we've had in a while, because a lot of it's personal, what's going on with the kids and different things. Yesterday was pure hockey, and he's in his perfect place, his happy place here at the Rookie Face-Off, seeing all the work that he and his staff do.
I felt bad interrupting because you guys were rolling, but I just wanted you to know there was pizza.
Do not hesitate to tell me there's food.
2 minutes gone in the second. Here's Pinard with a look. His shot was blocked. Uchas follows up. His shot is stopped and covered up by Anson Thornton, who stays in for the second period of work for Utah. Face-off will come to his right.
This is a fun line. Pinard scored 24 a year ago, and Uchas 42, and Euronen just shy of 20. And Pinard did it at a professional level.
Face-off win for the Golden Knights. Left point, Fleming throws it on goal. It's covered up by Thornton for another whistle. Take a look quickly at the stats presented by Foley Family Wines and Spirits, available at T-Mobile Arena and at FoleyFamilyWines.com. Golden Knights have a 3-0 lead after 20. Matthew Cataford, Ben Hemmerling, and Bear Hughes all find in the back of the net. And just 45 seconds ago, Cole Baudouin got the first goal of the afternoon for Utah. Julian Lutz and Maverick Lamoureux, the assists on Baudouin's tally.
Here the announcement, San Jose penalty. Unique setup here. They haven't had two games go at the same time all weekend until today. It's a double rink facility here in El Segundo, but the sound system feeds both rinks. So there's a game going on the other sheet involving San Jose, and we just heard the goal announcement, or the penalty announcement. And that happens during the play over here, so one of those unique challenges for the Rookie Face-Off.
It's not the sound leaking through from the other side. I think it's this, there's a speaker in here somewhere, and it's funny. You mentioned it, Darren. I don't know, maybe you saw my head snap up when I heard the announcement, like I might have missed something. Pinard had it knocked off his stick. Lutz in the neutral zone, tried to poke it ahead for Baudouin, but a good defensive play by Uchaz to knock it off his stick. Utah will dump it in as both teams get changes.
Really strong stick by Uchaz on the back check.
Fleming moseying out of his own end. Sends across for Jones over the Utah line left wing. Spun off a check from Lavoie. Smith came in to help. He'll work for it in the corner. Now escaping behind the net, Lavoie. Took a hit in the corner. Good forecheck work again by Jet Jones. And a wrist shot is gloved by Thornton as he squeezes the try from Bear Hughes to get the whistle.
Okay, that last shift is a great example of what's happened right for Vegas this weekend. Good back check, responsible defensively, incredibly efficient zone exit. You come down, you forecheck the puck, and you get a chance on goal. That is the DNA of what we've seen from Vegas this entire weekend in having the lead in Game 3, trying to run the table in this rookie faceoff.
And a good embodiment of what Bob Lowe's mentioned, which is playing to the strengths of the group. Utah faceoff win in their own zone, but Lavoie couldn't clear. Right point, Maillet held in. Shot from the right circle by Jones was blocked and rolled on goal. Thornton will cover it up again.
Players that we've come to watch this weekend and didn't know a lot about coming in, but have been certainly exposed to the positives. Sloan Stanek trying to earn a contract. Prince Albert, the Western Hockey League, and he's really gelled playing with top-end talent in Jacob Rabinetz and Ben Hemmerling.
Puck controlled by Utah as Allard hit in the neutral zone. Good back check by Smith. It's a delayed offside for Utah. They didn't know, and the whistle will sound, and they'll bring the face-off. They might call this intentional. I'm not sure where they're going to bring this back to. 4 minutes gone, second period. To that point, some of the players who are here on a tryout basis as invitees who are putting up a good showing.
Kai Uchez, Sloan Stanek.
We heard Von Karpen talk about this yesterday, too. This is not just a tournament for your drafted prospects. The invitee portion of it, they're really looking for hidden gems, and they've found them in this tournament before.
Players that have gone through the draft, still available. First challenge is convincing them, okay, will you come to our camp? And they've got some really good players that they're happy accepted those invitations. Kemetz is another one.
Bear Hughes had a chance on the back post. He deflected it wide. More good ozone pressure for Vegas. Maillet was in deep. Kemetz down from the right point, picks the puck up, carries behind the Utah net, trying to wrap it around. He put it right through the blue paint, and Maillet finds it at the left point. Golden Knights are buzzing as Maillet a backhander, and that's into the chest of Thornton, who hangs on for the whistle.
Kemetz. We say it over and over because he's involved in the play at both ends of the ice. And he's already scored a goal this afternoon, putting the puck on the net and getting a favorable bounce. There was nothing fortunate about the play. It was all generated by Kemetz, pinching down low, taking the puck behind the net, and as a right-handed shot, trying to wrap the puck around, and then getting back up top and playing his position. You don't see a lot of defensemen trying the wraparound.
Yeah.
But he looks right at home doing that. Again, 23 goals last year, Vancouver and Prince George of the Western Hockey League.
You know what's been interesting, too, seeing Maillet and Kemetz playing together, both of them aggressive, both of them not afraid to go down the boards and pinch, to stay in deep and make a play. But on the ice simultaneously, sometimes you'll have a creative player or an offensively minded player, and you'll put them with someone more defensive-minded, as Leslie's drive is gloved by Thornton, another face-off coming. Someone more stay-at-home to make up for that aggressiveness. Here you have two very aggressive players, but neither one of them is hanging the other out to dry. They've actually been able to do it, taking turns, if you will, on lengthy offensive zone shifts without any hiccups.
Yeah, your first concern would be don't both go at the same time. They haven't done that. By the way, Brabenitz with another clean draw that led to the last Leslie chance.
Leslie's shot there was blocked in front. And Elliott will chase it down in the neutral zone, but lost the handle as he was stood up by Chayka. Puck rolls back into the Utah zone, and Lamoureux escapes pressure from Brabenitz. 5 minutes gone, second period. Golden Knights have a 3-1 lead. Hemmerling with a takeaway in the offensive zone. Wrist shot was blocked, came right back to him. Hemmerling looking again, hooked from behind, got a shot off. That was blocked and a penalty called against Utah. Hemmerling fighting through a stick check, still got the chance. Thornton stopped it, but the Golden Knights will get their first power play of the afternoon as Väisänen heads off.
When you look at the players that have had strong tournaments this weekend, and there's been several, right at the very top is Ben Hemmerling. There's not a shift that he takes off or something doesn't happen around him.
And pardon me, folks, Väisänen was headed to the bench. It was, in fact, Gabe Smith who was sent off for the Hook. So Gabe Smith, taken in the 4th round this summer out of Moncton, will sit. Golden Knights' first power play. Darren, it's been a good power play this weekend.
They feasted on it the first 5 periods of the tournament. Got some 5-on-5 goals the last 4. But this power play's been effective.
Bowman, Sapovalev, Euronen, Kometz, and Uchaz on this power play unit. Kometz with a blast, and that deflected wide off Sapovalev. It bounced back in front. Scramble for the puck. Bowman will bump it back out to the blue line. Left side, Uchaz. Out to the blue line, Kometz. Right side, Bowman. Pass across. Uchaz, one-timer, went wide. Left side, Uchaz got across. Bowman, wrist shot, save Thornton. Rebound leaked to the corner, and the Golden Knights on it again.
Something I've known to come to appreciate about Kometz is he looks like he wants to shoot every time.
He has it center point and gives right side, top of the circle for Bowman again. Fed across, Uchaz missed the net.
That's 2 good looks from that spot.
Baudouin will skate it clear for Utah. He dumps it down on goal. Both teams get changes. Line changes brought to you by William Hill. 45 seconds before Smith can return. As Kometz drops it back at center. Hemmerling with speed over the Utah line, but lost the handle on it, and it's cleared down by Nord. Brabinitz, Stanek, Cataford, Hemmerling, and Maillet on this unit. They've got 20 seconds to work with. Left point, Maillet, pressured by Lamoureux. Puck squirts free. Hemmerling holds it along the blue line. Into the right circle, tried to center, pass was blocked. Maillet has it at the point. Now left circle, Brabinitz. Sent across Hemmerling. Center point, Maillet. Left side, Brabinitz sends down low, and it deflected wide. Stanek got a stick on it. Out of the box is Smith. We're back to 5-on-5. Vegas power play 0 for 1. Cataford in tight, flips it wide.
That might have been the best power play all weekend, too.
Stanek stripped of the puck at the Utah line, and Nord will gain the red line and dribble it down as the Utah Hockey Club needs a change. They get it now.
They had pressure for 1:45 of that power play.
You mentioned a couple of looks for Uchaz at the left dot that he couldn't connect on. That was Bowman getting that pass across from dot to dot multiple times on that power play. Lutz on the left wing will give out to center. Here's Elliott on the attack for Utah. Right wing, Elliott gave in front for Seatman, and he couldn't tee up a shot. He was bumped off the puck. Hughes able to transition out to center. Jet Jones couldn't sell the pass, and Allard will escape all the way back behind his own net with 8 minutes gone, second period. And the Golden Knights a 3-1 lead, looking for a perfect 3-0 rookie face-off weekend.
They've been full value for the dominating performance. The best team here in El Segundo.
Lutz over the Vegas line. Poke check, good play by Uchaz. And following it up was Hardy, but he was offside, and the whistle stops play.
Go back to Sloan Stanek. He's here on a tryout. Has not looked intimidated at the slightest. He's been proactive, and they've given him a look throughout the lineup. And the last 2 games, playing on arguably the top line, and doesn't look out of place at all.
Here's a look for you. Chaz between the circles, fought off with the right pad by Thornton. Stanek, as you mentioned, 84 points last season in Prince Albert.
30 goals.
Pinard in the offensive zone. Help from Euronen. Cuts to the inside. Shot was blocked. And rolls on goal. Thornton will grab it again. And again, right now, the Golden Knights, I say right now, it's been for most of the afternoon. They're winning board battles. They're getting to the middle of the ice, and they're fighting their way through traffic in front. Utah's just been trying to get off the glass and out.
Take a moment, just ask you. It's our first look at the Utah Hockey Club sweaters. What do you think?
I like them. And I like the, you wouldn't call it quite a powder blue, I suppose, but that mixed with the navy, I think it's a good aesthetic.
Closer to powder blue.
Powderish. Powdery. Left point Chekhov, another face-off win. Wrist shot sails wide. You mentioned earlier, Darren, the Golden Knights have been phenomenal in the face-off circle this weekend. Matthew Cataford took a hit from Duda. Puck came free to the near side. Cheka into the corner. Getting some help from Bowman. Sapovalov was covering at the left point. His long shot through traffic is handled again by Thornton, and he'll cover up.
Another good shift. Sapovalov, a player that you could say turning pro is as advertised as what we've heard about him from his junior career in the under 20s and major junior. If he can translate that type of performance over to main camp next week and fitting in with the Henderson Silver Knights, I think you got a really strong player. 6'3", over 200 pounds with some offensive ability and responsible with a 200-foot game.
Got a good chuckle, too, for Bob Lowe's, who said, you've got a young player. You don't have to teach him to be defensively responsible. He said, if anything, we want him to take more chances on the offensive side. How often do you hear that for a high draft pick?
Count him on one hand. Because everybody thinks you have to contribute offensively to make an impact.
Leslie at the right point holds the puck in. Hemmerling there to help. Tried to hack it down the wall, but Väisänen knocked it down. It rolls out to center. Golden Knights with a quick regroup, and now Hemmerling will just dump it down. Golden Knights get a wholesale change past the midway point of period 2. Golden Knights with goals from Cataford, Hemmerling, and Hughes, who has the puck now. Baudouin, the lone tally for Utah, as Komets will punch it deep.
I'm excited to see Sapovalov now at main camp, to see where he lines up against National Hockey League players. Against his peers, I think we've certainly been exposed to a player that's above the line when you compare apples to apples. Now the next step is to see him in his first year pro where he sets up.
Puck deflects out of play. We'll take a break. 9:18 to go in the second. 3-1 Golden Knights. Brian McCormick and Darren Millard here with you. You're listening to the Rookie Face-Off presented by Martin Harris Construction. Takeaway window offers grab-and-go food and drink if you are in a rush. Visit the Vegas-born Bar and Grill. I might do that this afternoon. We're flying back home.
Get back to Vegas and check it out over the D-gates. One of the cool things, the marketing department's brilliant, right? You know, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
There's a great sign there, neon sign that says it's flight time.
It's flight time?
Flight time outside Vegas-born Bar and Grill. Little twist on
I like that.
I made sure everybody got a chance to go over and see that as I was giving unofficial tours at the ribbon cutting last week.
Well, it's important to have a celebrity presence when you're
It's
doing
the
a
first
ribbon
time I'd
cutting
ever
like
been
that.
to an airport, been to the gates, and not gone
And not
anywhere.
going anywhere.
I went home and told my family jet lagged.
Glove save made by Jesper Vikman. He'll hang on. Face-off coming to his left. Jet lagged. Start booking your flights differently. Try aim for layovers. Jesper Vikman has had the crease for the duration of the afternoon, as was expected. Carl Lindbaum got the whole game yesterday. Vikman's supposed to get the whole game today. 9 minutes remaining in the second period as Krinkovic, brought over the Vegas line, was stripped by Jet Jones. Following it up was Smith, but he wasn't able to do anything with it. Still, Utah stays deep on the forecheck as Allard put a good hit on Kometz. Puck came out to center. Hughes over the red line sends it deep for Vegas.
I'm not going to get used to a random announcement of a goal or a penalty occurring during our game that's in response to the sheet on the other side of the building. I keep thinking I've missed something like you did.
I think he's just trying to give us the opportunity to give good in-game score updates from around the league.
Yes,
I
that's
appreciate
exactly what's happening.
Nothing wrong with being well informed for what's going on 50 feet behind us across the concrete wall.
India Shea from the communications department of the Vegas Golden Knights just looked at me like, where's that announcement coming from? What's going on?
And there's a third headset here that she refuses to take, but we'll try to talk her into it. Utah staying on the attack, side of the net, jam attempt by Lutz was covered up by Vikman. Whistle stops play. We had Bob Lowe's in our last intermission, and we look forward to having Director of Amateur Scouting Scott Luce in our next intermission.
I'm letting the announcement play out. So Vegas had the great response yesterday in the front half of the game and got into some penalty trouble, and Seattle was able to inch their way back into the contest. Up 3-0 today. We'll see how Vegas handles it.
Daniel Chayka tried to move it up the near wall. He has some room to roam. Gets out through center over the red line. Took a hit. Good back check by Elliott for Utah. As the puck does roll deep into Utah territory, Newcomb will reverse it behind his own net. Now he gets it back, and he's got some room to skate. He'll gain the red line and fire it all the way down. Newcomb on the forecheck. Elliott there helping as well. Puck popped in the air, and Leslie will push it to the near side, and Pinard has some space. Utah changing. Gave for Uchaz, gains the red line, dumps it in.
Uchaz just ran over his man.
I think that was Owen Allard who took the worst of that. And Uchaz follows up with another hit on Maverick Lamoureux. And they go back and forth a little bit. We've already seen Lamoureux drop the gloves with Sloan Stanek this afternoon. Duda will swing it up the left wing side and out to center. Krinkovic with a nifty move to carry into the Vegas zone. Then he was knocked down by Joe Fleming.
Good read by Fleming. Knowing Sapovalov was on the back check, he could step up and be aggressive.
Cholach is picked off in the neutral zone, looks into the offensive end, tried to send it to the front, and Väisänen had hop over his stick. Good poke check by Vikman. There's a penalty upcoming. As the whistle stops play, I think Baudouin might have taken a stick up under the visor.
Cholach, I think, is getting called.
He's heading off with a facial expression that would lead you to think just that.
Luch comes in late, pushing and shoving. Not sure what that's going to accomplish.
Cholach has gone off, so the Golden Knights will be shorthanded for the first time this afternoon. Golden Knights fans, select Vegas Golden Knights full season and partial season memberships are still available for the 2024-25 season. Visit VegasGoldenKnights.com. Click on tickets for full details.
Did Utah feel like an expansion team? Like, do you still connect them to Arizona?
You know, I do on a weekend like this because there are players in their lineup that are Arizona draft picks or Tucson Roadrunners, so it's a bit of a link on that side. But I do believe the way they are handling the history is a clean slate.
Yeah, it feels more expansionish than it does a transfer of a franchise.
Lutz with a shot that was fought off by Vikman, and the Golden Knights clear. Good clear by Bear Hughes. You know, it's strangely something I hadn't thought about that much, and I usually do when a new team joins the league. Seattle a couple of years ago. You're going to get a new goal horn, you're going to get a new goal song, along with all the atmospherics. I haven't really given that as much thought as I usually would have by this point. A couple of weeks, we'll find out. Lamoureux at the left point, gives for Duda center point. Utah with a minute 20 left on their power play. Lamoureux's shot was blocked, finds it again, fires and scores. Lamoureux's first shot was blocked by Leslie, but came right back to him. And he snaps the wrister through Vikman to make it 3-2.
Different spot on the ice, but similar play. Broken play coming up. Shot doesn't get through. You get it back. Everything's disrupted a little bit. Goaltender's timing is off. And the puck goes into the net. It's not a breakdown by any means, but it's a broken play that just knocks things out of rhythm enough that the puck ends up behind your goal line.
There's bad luck. Leslie blocks the shot, and he's trying to find where it went after that. It just leaked a little bit to the middle, and for that, Lamoureux had a better angle on the second shot than he did the first shot. Long wrister from Elliott was gloved by Vikman, but I believe Utah was offside, so the faceoff will come back out to neutral ice.
A nice advantage. Is now a one-goal game, which didn't bother Vegas at all yesterday. In fact, you could make a case that they were really strong when it got closer yesterday and didn't give up a lot when things tightened up.
So 2 first-round picks in the lineup for Utah this afternoon. Both have scored in this period. First Baudouin and then Maverick Lamoureux. And now we have another penalty, a slashing call upcoming.
Penalties got Seattle back into the game yesterday. Changed momentum for a period of time. And we brought it up midway through this period whether Vegas would be able to put their foot down and widen the advantage, or if Utah would take what's given to them, in this case some power play opportunities, and turn things towards their direction. And a power play goal makes it a one-goal game. They're going in the advantage of an opportunity to tie it.
It's Jacob Rabinowitz who's gone off for slashing. Second power play for Utah. They are 1 for 1. As the puck in the near corner of the Vegas zone, Baudouin poked it free, but Kometz found it, couldn't clear, knocked down at the blue line by Lamoureux. Duda gives right side, Lutz, center point Duda, left side Lamoureux one-timer, and that was blocked by Kometz. Unable to clear as the puck was knocked down by Nord. Lutz, top of the right circle, wrist shot, save Vikman, rebound, left side, Lamoureux, Duda, now right circle, Lutz, poked away from him by Maillet, and Pinard will clear.
Great shot block by Kometz.
Lutz with a pass, and sneaking behind everyone was Allard, and a save with the pad by Vikman. Lutz has it. Gave for Duda, shot off the post. Lutz again sent down low. It's picked off by Maillet and cleared.
Should point out that was the outside of the post.
After a strong save on Owen Allard, who came right off the bench, straddled the blue line, and was able to sneak behind everybody. Owen Allard looking for his third goal of the tournament. Allard has it right side, dropped it back to Duda at the blue line. 50 seconds left on the power play. Bowman with a takeaway, and he'll carry ahead shorthanded. Bowman looking for help, now lowers his shoulder and gets a shot off that's kicked away by Thornton.
See the shoulder check, wanting to know if somebody was with them. Very aware.
Bowman goes off for a change as Krinkovic drops it back at center. Väisänen will play it off the boards in deep and chase behind the Vegas net with 25 seconds before Brabinets can return. Allard at the right point couldn't hold it in. It leaked through him and goes all the way back into Utah territory.
Random question of the day is coming up for Brian McCormick.
Bracing myself. Allard on the right wing gives along the blue line. Lavoie will track it at the left point. 5 seconds left on the power play. Smith hit hard by Cholach behind the net, but he was able to move it up top. Allard, a long drive, stopped by Vikman just as Brabinets came out of the box. He'll hang on for the whistle with just over 3 minutes to play in period 2.
That could be a turning point in this hockey game. Second straight power play opportunity for Utah. An opportunity to tie it. Vegas gets through, and now go back in the offensive. Here's my question. You are 12 feet from the boards. Mm-hmm. You're 3 feet up. It's close, but it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
If I said you have to call every game from here, how would you react? I like this vantage point way more than I thought I would.
Yeah. I think if that were the case at Lee's Family Forum, I would get to participate in Lucky and Harold's horse races going around the lower bowl. So I would accept that.
It's easier to call the game from this close than I was anticipating.
In all seriousness, it is solid. It's a little tough near corners in both directions, but it's and again, there's more souvenirs than I'm used to, which is good. I've had 2 or 3 pucks handed to me. This is a good place to be.
Handed or thrown?
Well, it depends who is delivering them. Ryan from the streaming team handed it to me. India from the PR team threw it at me.
India's got a good arm.
That was earned. 2.5 to play in the second. 3-2 Vegas leads. Sapovalev dishes it back deep into his own zone. Chayka tracks it down. Avoids the majority of a hit from Lutz. Sapovalev gave it away in the middle of the ice. Baudouin gave it to the left circle for a backhander. Not much on it from Nord. Kicked away by Vikman, and Sapovalev will escape. He'll clear it down. And he was shy of the red line. This might be icing. No, they wave it off.
That's one of those self-inflicted chances that Vegas gave up.
Baudouin driving towards the front of that, jammed it on goal, and a save by Vikman. Point shot by Lavoie, pinballed wide of the net. Cole Baudouin, who had a goal earlier in this period, a first-round pick, and looking every bit like it in this period.
Penalties have changed the momentum of this hockey game. Utah's in its best stretch that we've seen.
1.5 minutes left as at center is Smith. Into the offensive zone, tried to drop it for Allard. Coming in to support was Kipke, but he gave it away, and here come the Golden Knights. Even numbers on the rush. Hemmerling gave it in front looking for Stanek. It went through his skates. Right point, Joe Fleming held in. He'll mosey into the slot. Tried to center for Brabinets. Brabinets will bump it back out to the point. Cholach's shot saved Thornton. Rebound behind the net with credit 1. 1 to go in the second. Puck at the Vegas line. Smith on the left wing side lost it. Vegas in transition, left wing. Cataford tried to center. That pass was blocked. Gabe Smith battling for it again. Cataford has him tangled up, as does Hughes. The puck leaked behind the net. Big hit on the far side as Joe Fleming stepped up and laid out Will Gavin. No retaliation on that hit from Fleming as the Golden Knights on the attack again.
Fleming was waiting for the challenge.
He was looking around. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Where's everybody going?
Left point, Cholach wrist shot saved Thornton. 10 seconds left in the period. Right point, Fleming. It hops over his stick. Now a foot race. Fleming knocked down Gavin, and a penalty called. Joe Fleming reached out with his right arm and hauled down Gavin, and he had to do it. Otherwise, Gavin would have been off to the races. And they're still having a few words with one another as they're pulled apart by the officials.
I think it's easy to criticize penalties in our game, but that was what you would call a good penalty. Bad break with the puck at the end of a period, 3 seconds to go. Ice is bad right in front of the bench. We don't have as many breaks where there's shovelers coming out and cleaning the ice. So it hops on the snow over a stick, and he has to haul the player down to avoid a late goal and maintain the lead.
And 3 seconds left on the clock. Hard to predict, but likely there was going to be enough time for Gavin to get a chance off. So Joe Fleming does what he must, but sends Utah to their third power play. Face-off to the right of Vikman. Face-off win for Utah. In front, Lutz's shot was blocked. Another try for Lutz. That's blocked by Leslie as well. 2 good blocks at the end of the period for Leslie as time runs out. And the second period comes to an end. Golden Knights a 3-2 lead.
That's Madsen Leslie's first appearance in the tournament today, and he comes up with 2 huge shot blocks on the penalty kill with 3 seconds to go in the second period. That's making an impression.
We have minute 57 of power play time for Utah when the third period begins. Golden Knights fans, the new LMK VGK text service delivers the latest news on the Golden Knights in a text message right to your mobile device. Visit VegasGoldenKnights.com to learn more and sign up for a free LMK VGK. Let me know, VGK, sign up today. We'll hop out. When we come back, we'll be joined by Director of Amateur Scouting, Mr. Scott Luce, for more insights on these young Vegas Golden Knights prospects. Golden Knights a 3-2 lead over Utah after 40 minutes. Brian McCormick, Darren Millard here with you. You're listening to the Rookie Face-Off presented by Martin Harris Construction. Rookie Face-Off presented by Martin Harris Construction. The second intermission is presented by Barry's Downtown Prime at Circa Resort and Casino, Las Vegas. Brian McCormick and Darren Millard here with you, and we're joined by the Golden Knights Director of Amateur Scouting, Mr. Scott Luce. Scott, thanks for joining us. What is a busy week for you and your crew, and as you were just explaining to us during the break, it's the beginning of everything starting to get busy for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great way to start the scouting season. We get to, have coverage on the guys that we scouted throughout the year or in the last few years. Then we roll right into the USHL Fall Classic in Pittsburgh later this week, and four or five games a day. And then after that, we'll start into the CHL coverage in the Ontario League, the Western League, and the Quebec League.
And those leagues have just kind of getting going right now too.
Yeah, they're just going to be finishing up their preseason schedule. Then they have a week off, and then right around the end of September, we'll kick in and start our coverage in those respective leagues.
Here's just a big picture question. How many hockey games would you see in a year?
I average around between 200 and 220 every season over the last, unfortunately, 25 seasons.
Unfortunately, that's a lot of rink coffee.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Makes me wonder, you watch that many hockey games, someone of your hockey IQ and your staff, I figure you learn something from every single game. Do you, or are there some games you sit through and you're like, well, there's not much to write in the notebook for that one?
You always go into a game thinking you're going to learn something, but one of the first things I was taught by my father and a couple other older scouts in the business is you can't go into a game and manufacture something. So sometimes you do go to a game and there's just nothing there. That's okay. You have to be there. The players have to come to you. So I'd say 10% of the games, we might leave the game saying, you know what, tonight we just can't, negative or positive, take away anything. But you have to be in the rinks to be there just in case.
You've supplied the paint to what we're watching on the canvas today in a lot of regards. A couple of players that have jumped out to you through the course of this weekend with a period to go.
A couple groups of players have actually stood out because we have so many different players at different parts of their development. But I really like their two big centers, Sept.15 and Brabanich. They've taken a step in their games. Brabanich looks a little stronger, a little bit more harder to play against and stuff like that. So that's good to see. He's got such good vision and distributes the puck so well. And it's great to see Sapo take that next step, using that long reach of his, controlling the puck, and really winning all his loose puck battles. The other group of guys that I like is I have to give credit to our regional scouts and working with our personnel department with their tryout players. They've done a great job of identifying players that can come in and fit into the Vegas Golden Knights style of hockey. And as we've seen with our success so far with 20 minutes to go so far this week, they've done a great job. And those guys are, looking to get a spot in the main camp or, gaining some momentum as free agents moving forward.
It's always fun during this weekend to think back to development camp where we meet some of these guys for the first time, talk to yourself, Will Nickel, guys that he's excited about. I remember back at development camp, he said Braden Bowman was a sneaky good find that a lot of people are excited about. He's had a really productive weekend.
Yeah, Braden's a guy that, he always shows up at the right times. He's a money player, and he's learned to improve his consistency, and that's sort of part of his game that he had to improve on from his first year draft eligible to now being a free agent guy. And we identified him every year as a prospect, and sometimes you just don't get to certain guys on your list because it's a list for a reason. And he was always on our list. We always had him on the radar. Playing in Guelph, we got tons of coverage on him, and he's a guy that I think's got a real bright future. And moving forward, I expect a lot from him.
When you say improve the consistency, how do you get that message across to a player to try to make strides in that area?
Well, that's where a guy like Will is so good, because he'll we draft the skill, we draft the talent. Will helps develop the intangibles, and Will read our game reports and we'll say, he had a good game, was strong on the puck, finished his checks and stuff like that. But he'll also read, hey, shift-to-shift consistency or game-to-game consistency is an issue, and Will's able to communicate that with the prospect and say, hey, listen, this is what we're seeing, and then he'll provide examples through video work and conversations with the prospect. And it's never a quick process when it's about consistency. It comes in layers, and that's the best part of the business, because guys just don't step in all the time and play right away. It's a process, and that's one of the biggest things is learning to play consistency at the professional level. And if you can't do it at the amateur level, you're not likely to do it at the professional level.
I didn't realize it was so multi-layered through the organization to the prospect.
Oh yeah, I think that's the strength of our organization. We've got a great chain of command, great leadership. We all stay in our lanes and do our jobs, and we let the system spit out the end result. It's never just one guy. It's a group process.
With Scott Luce, Director of Amateur Scouting, one position I'd like to talk about where there's got to be a lot of enthusiasm in the organization, the depth that there's the opportunity to have in goal. We're seeing Carl Lindbaum, who's come over to North America for this season, Jesper Vikman. Isaiah Seville is in that system still. Cameron Whitehead is in that system still. Moisevic was just drafted this past summer. There's a lot of youth and opportunity in between the pipes going forward.
Yeah, no question. Both the goalies that are here this week have taken big steps in their game. Jesper's a big athletic goalie that is, when we drafted him was quite raw. Now he's fine-tuned, added some layers to his game from a technical point of view. And with Carl, he's just, he's not a big goalie, but he's got an elite hockey sense. He reads the play really well. You see that in his SHL play over there in Sweden. And he's not a big guy, but boy, does he know how to anticipate and read the plays and put himself in position. And I thought, his half game, game one, and his full game yesterday, that really stood out.
He's quieter from a performance standpoint than I was anticipating for a guy that's 6 feet tall.
Yes.
Those players sometimes are more acrobatic, and I think he's got that skill level, obviously, but his ability to anticipate and read the play was significant.
Yes, and that's, when you get a smaller goalie or not a big goalie, as we like to say, sometimes they have to over push just to get in the proper position. He's cleaned that up, and he really relies on, he's a cerebral goaltender, and there's not very many of them at that size, and when you have that, that's great, and that's why he's here. And he's performed very well internationally in the Swedish Elite League. So his future is as bright as he wants to make it in regards to playing in North America.
Well, you're an old goalie. You understand all that, right?
Yeah, everything that those guys do well, I never did.
We're with Scott Luce. Scott, you talked a little bit about Matthias Sapovalov, another young guy who has the opportunity to perhaps stick in Henderson to make his first pro impression. Ben Hemmerling, and he's been involved in everything this weekend. What do you guys like about him?
Yeah, speed. He's on pucks. He's on loose pucks. Just that play at the end of the second period there where he chipped it by the defender. If it was fresh ice, he was gone. The puck actually slowed down right in the neutral zone, or else he would have had a breakaway. You can't teach that speed. And he's had to overcome some, injury adversity and stuff like that. And right from his very first development camp after we drafted him in the later rounds, he was a prospect. He flashed that first development camp and has never taken his foot off the gas.
Kai Uchas is a player that's here trying to earn a contract. Captain of the Red Deer Rebels. Had a couple of monster years when it comes to scoring goals. I'm trying to figure out, he's a bigger body. He's a leader as a captain, but a goal scorer. He checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah, and so strong on pucks there. And this week, that's the one thing our staff has noticed, that he wins every 50-50 battle. Not only with his strength, because now he's not playing against 16-year-olds here. There's some 24-year-old guys, 25-year-old guys here that have man strength. He's winning those battles. And it's not just he's overpowering guys. He knows how to angle. He knows how to box out. He's got really good anticipation of where the play is going to go, and he uses that size and strength to his advantage. And down low in those 50-50 puck battles, that's huge.
What I like him, too, is he likes to shoot the puck. He wants to shoot the puck. And there's so much of the time spent trying to convince players to shoot the puck in our game.
Yeah, and that's the good part about our organization is we have to find guys that complement each other's skill set. And he's the guy that can come in and be that finishing guy with his shot. It's accurate, it's hard, it's a quick release, and he knows where to be to get it off. And we have guys that actually can find him and get him the puck, and that hopefully will bode well for us moving forward.
Well, Scott, there's a lot of young players to be really excited about. It's been a great weekend, and we appreciate you joining us and giving us some more insight. A lot to look forward to this year.
Thanks, guys. Really enjoyed it.
I'd like to be able to hang out with him the odd time. The draft is one thing, but he's busy there. This is where you get to sit back and watch hockey and just chill out, and I get to bug him too.
We'll have to do it more often.
Yeah.
Scott, thanks for your time. That's Scott Luce, Director of Amateur Scouting. We'll step out. Third period on the way. Golden Knights have a 3-2 lead. You're listening to the Rookie Faceoff presented by Martin Harris Construction. Ready for the third period. Brian McCormick, Darren Millard here with you. The rookie face-off presented by Martin Harris Construction. The Golden Knights have a 3-2 lead as we start the third period over Utah, looking for a clean sweep of the tournament weekend as the puck's cleared all the way down. Utah on the power play. Joe Fleming took a penalty with 3 seconds left in period 2. As Utah on the attack, pass for Baudouin was just out of his reach, goes down, no icing. Komet's trying to clear, and Lamoureux knocked it down. Second effort, good clear by Chayka. And the Golden Knights will change. Duda, Lamoureux, Lutz, Baudouin, and Nord, the 5 out for this Utah power play. Good poke check by Shane Smith, chases Utah back into their own end again. Right wing corner, Lutz gets to it. Maillet with pressure on him. Puck comes free. Jet Jones fires it all the way down. And 1 minute gone on the penalty kill for Vegas. You mentioned, Darren, for Utah, it was their power play opportunities in the second period that got them going, got them back into this hockey game. And an important kill for Vegas to start this final frame. Thornton will stop it behind his own net for Utah. Thornton and Vikman have both been in their respective nets for the entirety of the game to this point. Allard into the offensive zone, dropped it back, and a long shot by Kipke is into the glove of Vikman. He'll hang on for the whistle.
Waning moments of this rookie face-off. If you're a player that's been invited here on a tryout, you're looking to impress, earn a contract, number of opportunities are quickly running out to capitalize on what you've done so far or make further inroads. Just a couple more shifts to go.
Shot from the left point was blocked. It came from Väisänen, deflected out of play. Another faceoff coming in the Vegas zone with 13 seconds remaining in the Fleming minor. Stats are presented by Foley Family Wines and Spirits, available at T-Mobile Arena and at FoleyFamilyWines.com. Golden Knights with goals from Cataford, Hemmerling, and Hughes. Baudouin and Lamoureux have the tallies for Utah, as Brabinets blocked a shot, and he is still trying to scoot his way over to the bench. He is in discomfort.
Referee's helping him, but Brabinets did not get up. He pushed himself over on his knees to get to the bench with the officials' help.
And we'll keep an eye on that. We are back to 5-on-5 as Fleming escaped the penalty box. Sapovalev working deep in the Utah zone. Sapovalev carries above the circles, feeds the left point. Chayka back for Sapovalev, who replaces him at the blue line. Long shot, Sapovalev blocked in front. Wraparound try, Hemmerling, and Thornton got to the post.
If that's on Hemmerling's forehand, I think it's in.
Looking over at the Vegas bench again and trying to keep an eye and see if Jacob Brabinets has gotten back to his feet. Looks like he's getting attention from Todd Richardson, who is the head athletic trainer on the Henderson Silver Knights staff.
I don't think you're alone in watching what's going on over at the bench instead of what's on the ice, with Brabinets hobbling off or pushing himself off the ice the way he did.
Fleming held in at the right point, but then hacked past him by Gavin. Chasing after it on the left wing, but firing it wide was Hardy. Puck came out to the Utah line, and Lamoureux will backtrack in his own zone. 3.5 gone in the third period. 3-2 Vegas leads. Lutz into the Vegas zone, gave it off for Krinkovic, a shot, and he scores. Quick snap from Kyle Krinkovic underneath the glove of Vikman to tie the game at 3.
Yesterday, Vegas was able to push back when Seattle got within 1. Today, different story, as a 3-0 lead has evaporated and turned into a tie, and Krinkovic gets the puck just between the circles, good shooting spot, and fires it above the pad, just below the glove. One of those difficult spots for a goaltender, and it slipped right in between.
Krankovic, who spent most of last season in ECHL Tulsa, did see some time in the AHL with the San Diego Gulls. So we are tied at 3 as Utah has scored 3 unanswered. And the Golden Knights looking for an answer as Cataford applies forecheck pressure. Baudouin on the loose puck. Cataford stripped it away. Right wing corner, Braden Bowman. Now Sapovalev in the trapezoid. Took a shoulder from his knees, able to keep it alive for Cataford on the near wing. Cataford working high in the zone, trying to move it across. It was picked off by Nord. Baudouin gives for Nord into the Vegas zone. Gave it across Baudouin. It went under his stick. Good back check work by Maillet as the Golden Knights will look to settle things down.
Cataford, skilled player, maybe trying something that should be left in the toolbox at this stage of the game when you're on your heels.
Vikman hangs on to a long-range shot. Just before that, he made another good stop, point blank on Krankovic, who was looking to give Utah their first lead. Instead, the face-off will be to Vikman's left.
Turnover at the offensive blue line leads to a couple of good chances for Utah in the Vegas zone.
A Vegas Golden Knights Foundation special event. They host the annual gala, a Golden Night, on Sunday, November 3rd at the fabulous Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. Get your tickets now for an unforgettable night featuring the entire Golden Knights team and one-of-a-kind auction items. Visit VegasGoldenKnights.com for details on a Golden Night, the Vegas Golden Knights Gala on November 3rd.
Again, that's usually in the back half of the season, but has moved up because of the Four Nations tournament.
Which is to say that FanFest, the gala, there's a lot of exciting opportunities for fans in the first couple months of the season. Lamoureux back in his own zone, being chased by Smith. He'll go behind the Utah net. And puck won't settle down for him, but the Golden Knights peel off for a change presented by William Hill. So Lamoureux has time to reset.
Adversity for Vegas. Handled it really well yesterday. See what happens now in the third period. Done a lot of really good things this weekend. Try to finish it off on a high note.
Golden Knights in transition. Brabinitz is on the ice on the right wing. Tried to feather it back door, and it was out of the reach of Hemmerling. But good news for the Golden Knights is Brabinitz doesn't miss a shift.
Doesn't matter whether that puck went wide or not. Just seeing him make the attempt and being out there flying is great.
Duda deep in his own zone for Utah. Flips up the near side. Fleming down from the point. Put on goal. It was blocked and covered by Thornton. That was a clearing attempt, and Fleming just stepped right into it for a one-timer. And Thornton gets the whistle.
So Brabinitz isn't favoring anything during that return shift after blocking a shot and pushing his way off to the ice. Never did regain his feet off the block shot and the penalty kill. Probably just one of those stingers that you got to shake out. That doesn't feel any better just saying it's only a stinger, but he got through it.
Don't know how many people in our audience have blocked a shot that hard. Probably none of them, but there are some funny bone elements to your legs, similar to your arms. Here's Krankovic trying to send one back door. It slid all the way through. So, again, Brabinitz back in game action. It appears no worse for wear. Krankovic shot blocked by Maillet. It goes up out of play.
It was all Vegas in the first period today. And Seattle in the back half of that second. A couple of penalties by Vegas. Turned the momentum, and Utah Hockey Club was able to inch their way back into the hockey game from a territorial standpoint. And now on the scoreboard, it's 3-3. But the shots have evened out. Much so more so than they were in the first 20.
Uchaz and Baudouin for the face-off to the right of Vikman. Face-off win for Utah. Backhander by Lutz. Steered to the corner by Vikman. Puck rolls to the near wall. Euronin will get there for Vegas, and he'll bounce it out to center. Pinard muscles it down into the Utah zone. Chased into the corner with Kipke. They collide. Uchaz in there to try to help. Puck is corralled and brought ahead. Out to center, a pass for Lutz was just out of his reach. It goes all the way down. That was Lavoie who fought through pressure, but will be an icing against Utah and a face-off in the offensive zone for the Golden Knights.
I've had a lot of people roll through for conversations during the intermissions this weekend in El Segundo, and something that I think everybody has brought up is the work that the coaching staff has done for Vegas. And Ryan Craig, head guy with the Henderson Silver Knights, handling things here. Remember a year ago, it was his first time as a professional level running a bench, his own bench. He's got to feel a lot more at home after one season with the Silver Knights.
Here with his staff, Brent Kissio and Jamie Heward. Jamie Heward, who has been on the Silver Knights bench since day one, as the Silver Knights prepare for their 5th season. Cataford into the offensive zone on the right wing. Lays it down into the near corner. Smith got there for Utah. Reversed it behind the net to the far side. And Kipke, he's challenged by Chayka down from the point. Sapovalov gives right point for Leslie. Fed to the slot, but Cataford had fallen down, and the puck leaks out to center. Golden Knights will regroup. Bouncing puck, Sapovalov had trouble with. He just bats it ahead. Golden Knights changing as Väisänen brings it ahead for Utah. Turned it over at the Vegas line. Väisänen tries again to dump it deep. Leslie knocked it down. Quick regroup with Fleming, and he'll snap one to the Utah line that's chipped in deep by Smith. Here come the Utah Hockey Club in transition again. Allard had the puck, but it's a whistle. Utah's offside.
Looks like Vegas has done a good job of just settling things down last couple of shifts. Haven't created any chances necessarily offensively, but they've limited the momentum that Utah's had.
For sure. And you know what? It's probably the best forecheck pressure we've seen from Utah to start this third period, which Vegas survived the penalty kill to start the third period, but the follow-up pressure from Utah after that man advantage has been evident. Väisänen in his own zone, played up the middle, gave it away. Jet Jones trying to find room to shoot, and Hughes finds it. Hughes scores. Bear Hughes with his second of the afternoon, a broken play. Jones couldn't find the puck in front, but Hughes swooped through and did, and sends it straight upstairs. Vegas back in front.
Save the best for last if you want to talk about storylines coming out of the weekend and encouraging moments. Bear Hughes, who missed so much time over the last year and change because of injury, comes up and scores a couple of goals in the final game. This is a guy that was plus 20 in the ECHL 2 years ago. He's got that ability, and you've seen it today. One off a shot that went clean in, and there off of forecheck pressure, and his instincts take over.
And it was Shane Smith in the near corner who created the havoc that led to the puck in front. So Smith, Jones, and Hughes, a solid shift, and Hughes polishes it off with his second of the afternoon. And it's a 4-3 Vegas lead with 9 minutes gone in the third. Utah on the pressure now as Allard threw a hit along the near wall. Puck leaks to the far boards. And Brabinets banks it off the wall out to center. Baudouin brings it back in, trying to split the defense, and Kometz fought him off. That allows Maillet to sling it out to center, but into the skates of Hemmerling. Utah takes it back. Lutz will dance into the offensive zone. Gave her Baudouin. Right circle, drops it back to the point. And a wrist shot by Seatman was blocked in front. Seatman down from the right point again. Will play it below the goal line. Lutz is taken to the boards by Maillet. Seatman at the right point for Utah, being mirrored by Stanek. Gave it for Lutz. Sends down low, and a save made by Vikman. That was a great cross-seam feed. As sneaking down for the point was Artem Duda. Vikman stayed no, and then the net came off the moorings.
Now that's an example where if you're 6'4", you take up a lot of the net.
Yes.
And Vikman with a really good read on this play, but he has such a wide butterfly to be able to get over, and comes up with a save and then gets the whistle. On the Hughes side of things, just the 2 goals are nice. But it's the confidence that I think he's going to take away from this going into the next stage. And main camp and then camp with the Henderson Silver Knights. This is the first of 3 training camps that he's going to be involved in this month.
Hughes on an American Hockey League contract. And, it's so important. You're so right, Darren. Not only is this tournament an opportunity for players to, as a hand pass is whistled in the neutral zone, a chance for players to get their wheels going, get acclimated to game action again before main camp, but also an opportunity for some of these young players to feel really good about themselves before main camp when there's going to be some bigger names and some more pressure of expectation. This is an opportunity for good players to do some good things.
Opportunity, and he's taken advantage of it. Now we'll hopefully see some productivity and spillover of that next week at Center National Arena.
9:49 to go, third period, 4-3 Vegas leads. We'll take a quick break. Brian McCormick, Darren Millard here with you on the Rookie Face-Off presented by Martin Harris Construction. Fans, VGK will kick off this season with FanFest presented by Toyota at the Lawn at downtown Summerlin on Sunday, October 6th. Join the whole team, GM Kelly McCrimmon, head coach Bruce Cassidy, and the VGK cast at the Lawn from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's free to attend and promises fun for the whole family. Sunday, October 6th for FanFest. Will you be at FanFest, Darren?
I will be. Going to have a chat with Kelly McCrimmon. Dave Gosher will be along, Ashley Weiss, Gary Lawless. Looking forward to it. I don't think Shane Noddy will be there because he's going to be inducted into the Manitoba Hockey Hall of Fame at the same time.
That's terrific.
Well deserved.
Phenomenal honor, and we've had a couple of those in the organization this summer. Shane going in, and Ryan Craig, who's behind the bench this afternoon for the Golden Knights, and the head coach of the Silver Knights, was inducted into the Abbotsford Sports Hall of Fame at the start of the summer.
Are you in a Hall of Fame?
No. My eminence is preeminent. 9:50 to go, third period. Golden Knights have a 4-3 lead over Utah Hockey Club. Bear Hughes with a pair of tallies, including the difference-making goal to this point. Here's Uchaz into the offensive zone. Pushed off the puck by Gabe Smith. Stays with it, though, and they battle forward in the corner as Euronen comes in to help. Euronen got for Uchaz, out to the point. Leslie, a shot and a save by Thornton. He'll hang on. Good work out of the corner by Euronen and Uchaz. And Mazin Leslie getting his first opportunity of the weekend this afternoon, and he has been very active.
At both ends of the ice. Back half of the second period, 2 huge shot blocks on a late power play for the Utah Hockey Club, and he hasn't been afraid to get involved defensively, and that was a really good look. Didn't try to do more with it, and like we talked about with Bob Lowe's, Scott Luce, getting the puck to the net has been a very strong attempt and a way to generate offense by Vegas.
Mentioned all the players here trying to get contracts, whether it be VGK, HSK. There's also, of course, players who will get the opportunity with the Tahoe Night Monsters, the new ECHL affiliate of the Golden Knights. And Alex Lowe, the head coach of the Night Monsters, was the head coach in Savannah at the end of last season. He's here this weekend as well. So, again, there's multiple parties that you're trying to make a good impression on if you're an invitee. Big collision behind the Vegas net as Cholach took a hit from Gavin. Puck stays in the Vegas zone. Sapovalev Hard work along the near wall, able to clear the puck. It goes all the way down to the Utah zone. Not far enough for icing. Both teams will get line changes presented by William Hill. Smith with a takeaway for Vegas. Stood up in front of the Utah bench by Elliott, but still able to flutter it down into the Utah zone. Baudouin will reverse it. Seatman on the right wing side leads it for Lutz. And he'll bounce it as far as the Vegas line before Maillet punches it back out to center.
This line, Jet Jones, Shane Smith, and Bear Hughes with a couple of goals today.
Maillet back in his own zone after Vikman cleared the puck away from his goal mouth. Maillet gives for Smith in front of the benches, gains the red line, and turns it over as Seatman took it away for Utah.
You could take players out of the lineup for the Vegas Golden Knights and make a case they need to only play one game, or they can only need to play 2 games. Bear Hughes is one that was going to play all 3 games if he was able to, just to get more reps. And he's come through with a couple of goals.
Icing called against Utah brings the faceoff back to the right of Anson Thornton. Anson Thornton, who saw some time last year with Tucson, most time with ECHL Reading. He's had a pretty decent afternoon under a lot of duress. Sloan Stanek behind the Utah net, tried to center one for Brabenitz. It was blocked down. Hemmerling jumps on the loose puck, tries to force his way to the middle. Brabenitz there to take it from him. Down from the left point, Kometz trying to cut to the inside on his backhand save. Thornton rebound into the blue paint, and Thornton able to keep it out as the puck stays alive.
How did the puck stay on his stick? Kometz took it to the net, and it just, despite 3 players trying to check him, it stayed in his blade.
He and Maillet still playing together. As Bob Lowe said, that was a point of interest today. They've been a good pairing. Hemmerling is in the right wing corner. Carries behind the net, throws on the brakes, tried to center for Brabenitz. Puck didn't make it there, and the whistle will stop play. There's a penalty upcoming. It's going to be against Utah.
Vegas very good in the power play in the opener against the Los Angeles Kings and the front part of yesterday's game in the win over the Seattle Kraken. Now they could potentially put this game away with just under 7 minutes to go, working on a 1-goal lead, trying to double the advantage.
Golden Knights will send out Sapovalev, Euronin, Bowman, Uchaz, and Kometz for this first power play unit. Face-off win for Utah. Lamoureux will hammer at the length of the ice. Kometz picks it up and will wheel his way out towards center. Dropped it back for Uchaz. And now on the right wing, Bowman gives for Euronin over the Utah line. Euronin out to the left point. Sapovalev settles the puck down. Now it's Uchaz in the left wing corner. Euronin in the far circle. Give and go with Kometz. Euronin leaves it left wing half wall for Uchaz, being watched by Krinkovic. Tried to center, it bounced out to the blue line. Kometz kept it alive. Right circle, Bowman a shot deflected wide by Sapovalev. 40 seconds gone on the power play. Left circle, Uchaz. Centered it for Euronin, but he couldn't settle it cleanly, and Dudo will fire it all the way down.
Bowman with a really good opportunity at the net. Looked like he might have been looking at a shot pass with Sapovalev, who was standing off to the left of the goalpost.
Here's Hemmerling for Cataford into the offensive zone. Into the right wing corner. Good defensive play as Väisänen took it away and fired it all the way down. 5.5 to play, third period, 4-3 Vegas leads. 40 seconds left on the power play with Gabe Smith in the box for Utah. Cataford gives high slot Maillet, now down for the left circle. Stanek a shot, that was deflected wide. That went off of Hemmerling.
Who just happened to be cruising in front of the net again.
Right point, Maillet leaves it at the near half wall. Hemmerling gives across, Stanek back up top. Maillet, wrist shot deflected wide. That was blocked by Newcomb in the high slot. Great puck movement on this Vegas power play. Stanek left circle, curls to the wall. 5 seconds left on the man advantage. Maillet from the point, shot blocked in front by Väisänen. And Newcomb will carry it out. Smith joins him out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Smith, right circle, wrist shot, save made by Vikman. Rebound found by Brabinitz. He'll sky it all the way down, and this will be icing against Vegas.
Take a moment with the Golden Knights leading 4-3. Just under 5 minutes to go in the third period. Trying to improve to 3-0 as they wrap up the rookie faceoff. Coming up in just over an hour and a half, we have the debut of the VGK Insider Show over on Fox Sports Las Vegas. So just across the hall from AM 1230 the game. Chris Chapman and Ryan Wallace getting set.
And exciting to have the VGK Insider Show back on your dials, because that dominates most afternoons, really.
As it should.
I get caught in traffic intentionally so that I can be there for the entire VGK Insider Show and text Darren my snide remarks throughout the show.
Snarky
remarks that I have when I'm sitting in traffic.
First appearance of the Catching Up with Chapman segment. Might have to make that 2 segments today. I'll join them by phone as we get ready to head back to Vegas.
It's a short flight. Jet Jones forces a takeaway, and it's Pinard in front who couldn't settle it down for a shot. Krinkovic on the attack for Utah, left wing. His wrist shot gloved down by Vikman, and a quick whistle stops play.
Good communication between Leslie and Chaika on that play. Chipped out to center ice, and Leslie and Chaika switched spots because Neil Chaika had the better angle and limit the opportunity, and you follow it up with a save by the goaltender.
Well, again, with the VGK Insider Show returning, we are in full swing. We are back into a regular season frame of mind, but we have to prepare with preseason hockey first, and all 4 Vegas Golden Knights preseason games at T-Mobile Arena. Tickets are on sale now. Visit VegasGoldenKnights.com and get your seats today. Here's Euronin racing through center for Vegas on the left wing into the Utah zone. On his backhand, a save made by Thornton, and he'll hang on for the whistle.
Euronin looking back as he skated behind the net. He saw something there. He thought that might trickle through as he went to his backhand with a good hard move to the net. This is the best game I've seen Euronin play of the 3, and I thought he was good the first 2.
Yeah. Definitely plays a heavy style, and as Bob Lowe's mentioned earlier, they're excited for what he can accomplish this coming season in Kingston. As shot for Euronin off the draw was steered over the glass by Thornton. Another draw coming in the Utah end. Take the opportunity to thank the guests that we've had throughout this weekend. Silver Knights General Manager Tim Speltz, Director of Player Development Will Nickel, Vaughn Carpin, Head Coach Bruce Cassidy, and today we had Bob Lowe's and Scott Luce, and it's the opportunity to visit with those stakeholders of the VGK organization that make this weekend so much fun, and we hope so informative for all of you as you're getting ready for hockey to become your full-time occupation again.
I believe the guys are going to rerun the Bruce Cassidy conversation from yesterday on the VGK Insider Show this afternoon. We covered a lot of ground.
Yes.
With Coach.
In addition to what to look forward to in training camp, also found out about the head-to-head battle on the links between Bruce Cassidy and Darren Millard. They golf competitively against one another. And also that Bruce would probably do a really good job if he was wearing one of these 2 headsets. He has play-by-play talent.
I thought he might stop by today. We were chatting last night, and it came up again.
Which means you don't want to miss any of the broadcasts of the preseason games, because who knows what can happen.
Sean Burke asked him, said, have you ever done play-by-play? Yeah. And Sean said, like, actually play-by-play or as an analyst? Oh, I did play-by-play, Bruce said.
Again, how hard can it be? 2:15 to go in the third.
Bruce says you just look at the puck and tell people where it is and who has it.
That's what we do, professional narrators. 4-3 Vegas leads, 2 minutes remaining. Gabe Smith on the left wing took a shoulder. Good hit from Maye. Sapovalev in there trying to force it free. He does so. Leslie has Krinkovic draped all over along the far boards. Utah takes it away. Gabe Smith, wrist shot blocked in front. Keep an eye on Thornton. We don't have to. Thornton has gone to the bench. Extra skater out for Utah. The net is empty. As a large shot whistles wide and the puck rattles out to center. Allard will carry over the Vegas line. Chips and chases into the far corner. Bear Hughes on hat trick watch. Rims it around the boards but not out. On the left wing side, Noel Nord tried to feed the blue line. It was picked off. It's sent towards the empty net. Braden Bowman scores. Bowman with the takeaway, dials down the center from distance. It is 5-3 Golden Knights with just over a minute left to play.
Golden Knights pushed back against the Seattle Kraken yesterday, walked out with a 5-3 victory. Things got completely tied up today after a 3-0 lead in the first period, and they respond in the back half of the third with a couple of big moments, and Bowman has the exclamation point.
And Braden Bowman, again, we talked about how optimistic the organization is about him as a free agent signing. He's a AHL contracted player signing for the Silver Knights this summer. He has a goal in every game of this tournament. Credit 1 minute remaining in the tournament. Golden Knights have a 2-goal lead, and Thornton has gone back to the bench. Here's a puck in front. Owen Allard couldn't settle it down. Lutz working back towards the point. Left it for Allard on the far half wall. He lost the handle. Chayka sends it bouncing to the blue line, but not out. 35 seconds left. Lamoureux gave it away. Jet Jones took it away. He'll flip it high in the air down to the Utah end, and no icing as Lamoureux back to get it. Lutz in front of his own bench. Tried to play it down the wall. It went up into the Vegas bench instead. Whistle stops play. 17 seconds remain in a very successful weekend for the Golden Knights prospects.
Record is great, and that's part of just the organization and trying to build that into your players. Not just establishing layers, but you want to win the hockey game. But then you add in the individual performances that we've seen, and they've been across the board this weekend of really encouraging signs.
Face off at center ice. Thornton is back in the net for Utah. Face off win for the Golden Knights. Fleming off the glass. Rolls down to the Utah line. Pass ahead is off of Hardy and up into the Vegas bench again. And again, Ryan Craig and Jamie Heward evading the flying rubber. As they're probably thinking we've gone this whole weekend without incident and we're trying to make it through this final dozen seconds.
One of the great things, too, is Jacob Brabinets being healthy after blocking that shot earlier.
A little bit of a scare, but nothing to it. 2 seconds and one. This one is over, and the Vegas Golden Knights a perfect 3-0 at the Rookie Face-Off tournament.
And they got better every game. The opener was clean. Perfect performance defensively. But on the offensive side, you got better every game. 2-0 win against the Los Angeles Kings. Score 5 yesterday against Seattle. And end up outscoring the opposition on the weekend 12-6.
5-3 the final this afternoon. The Golden Knights defeat Utah Hockey Club and now have plenty to smile about as they get ready to go into main camp. Maverick Lamoureux is approaching the red line, and Daniel Chayka as well. They weren't sure if they had to do a post-game handshake. They've decided to do one. You could almost see them negotiating it with shrugs and head nods. Why not? Tournament's over. We had a good weekend, so both teams will go through the handshake line and wish each other well as both teams will get ready for the main stage of training camp.
A lot of these players will see each other in the American Hockey League. Some destined to return to junior where they'll also cross paths. So there's some interactions that there are going to take place. A couple of players gathering on the ice from the two sides. Daniel Chayka catching up.
5-3 is the final. We'll step out, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up from this perfect VGK prospect weekend. Brian McCormick, Darren Millard here with you from El Segundo. This is the Rookie Face-Off presented by Martin Harris Construction. Back at the Rookie Face-Off, presented by Martin Harris Construction. Brian McCormick, Darren Millard here with you, putting a wrap on it as the Golden Knights 3-0 this weekend. They beat Los Angeles, they beat Seattle, and this afternoon a 5-3 win over the Utah Hockey Club, and there's a lot for a lot of people to feel good about.
3-0, perfect record. Best performance here, never trailed the entire weekend. Good first periods. Special teams was really good early on in the game against Los Angeles and yesterday Seattle. 5-on-5 game grew throughout the weekend, and that was on the back of a lot of really strong individual performances. The players that have been here before through the rookie tournament showed that they've been able to add to their games. Sapovalov has been great. Jacob Brabenec, I think today was this weekend was his best rookie tournament that we've seen from Brabenec. So I think strong progress that we can look to see now. Great against their peers in El Segundo. What are they going to be like at main camp when it starts on Thursday?
2 goals on the weekend for Jacob Brabenec, 3 goals on the weekend for Braden Bowman. Some great outings from some of the players here in a tryout capacity. And one of the good stories of camp with an exclamation point today, 2-goal afternoon for Bear Hughes, including the game winner in the 5-3 final. One more opportunity to give people a heads up of what to look forward to for VGK Insider Show as we head into training camp.
4 o'clock over on Fox Sports Las Vegas. Christopher Chapman has been hard at work putting together some new elements for the show. Ryan Wallace will be in studio. I'll join the guys on the phone. We'll bring you yesterday's conversation that we had, you and I, with Bruce Cassidy. And just look ahead to main camp as we get ready for the start on Thursday. And some of the differences between last year's team to this year's team. There's going to be a whole lot of conversation. One of the more wide-open training camps that we've seen from the Vegas Golden Knights since year number 1.
So much to look forward to. And again, thank you this weekend to Tim Speltz, Will Nickel, Bruce Cassidy, Vaughn Carpin, Scott Luce, and Bob Lowe's, who all joined the program, and India Shea from Vegas Golden Knights Public Relations, who made all that happen, running around this rink and making this broadcast go. So thank you to India Shea as well. And Darren, this was a lot of fun. Thanks, buddy. This was a great time.
I'll hang out with you anytime. And I heard that there's a push on our way to have the two of us involved in all Vegas Golden Knights radio broadcasts going forward due to the fact that we're undefeated. We've been challenged, but we're undefeated.
Well, and we've never given up a goal when you've done play-by-play, so that might have to be
Good point.
reinstituted as well. Also, thanks to Jerry